Okay guys, I'm going to spray my station down really good. This is going to remain wet, guys, for 3 minutes to be properly disinfected. If you're not sure about your 3 minutes, set your timer for 3 minutes to make sure it's properly disinfected. Once my 3 minutes is up, I'm then going to set up my universal supplies. These are the supplies that remain on top of my station throughout the day. My contaminated container, my decontaminated container with my EPA registered and state board approved barbicide already mixed in for cleaning at the end of the day of my implements, my water bottle, my hand sanitizer, my first aid kit, and my barbicide wipes. These are going to be my universal supplies. Okay guys, my 3 minutes are up, so I'm going to go ahead and wipe my station down really good. And I'm going to allow that to dry up good before I set up my universal supplies. Quick look at my universal supplies setup. Decontaminated container, contaminated container. This is for the implements that I use throughout my service that I can put in my contaminated container for later disinfecting. My water bottle, hand sanitizer, first aid kit, and my barbicide wipes. Now we are ready to get set up for our service. Okay guys, with pre-knowledge of the service that my client is receiving today, I've preset my station. I have a smaller hand sanitizer that I can bring closer to me for better use. My blow dryer, the actual products that I'm using today, paper towel, and I like to put down a towel to put my implements and work tools on, even though my station has been properly disinfected. I guess it's just out of habit. But here we have my preset container of everything that I'm going to be using today. It's labeled. So let's open it up. Okay, as you can see, I have my bowls, applicator brushes, combs, clips, capes, a flat iron for my finished service, gloves, base. I have 2 empty containers for my predisposition test as well as my strand test. I have spatulas, and I also have shampoo. Okay, let's get started with our setup. First thing I'm going to do before I actually go into my container to set up is sanitize my hands really good. And I like to take out a few extra items in case I drop something or if I have to mix something extra. There's nothing at all wrong with that, guys. Just keep in mind that even if you don't get a chance to use it, because it was out, it's still considered contaminated. So we want to make sure even the unused items that we took out, that they are properly disinfected. Today, like I said, we're actually going to be performing a virgin lightner double process because we're going to go back and actually add in a toner to our client's hair today. Okay. I'm choosing to use, guys, my kitty cape just because I'm working with a mannequin today, but this is a shampoo cape. If it's an adult client, of course you want to use an adult cape, but I'm choosing to use this today only because of the demonstration on a mannequin. Okay. All right, now that I'm all set up, let's go meet our client. Hi, Miss Blue Eyes. My name is Sandy. I will be your stylist today. You can follow me to my station and we'll get started. Okay, guys, I've greeted my client. I've actually took notice of the way she wears her hair when I introduced myself to her as her stylist for today. So I accessed her current style. Other than hand washing and of course proper sanitation, our consultation is one of the most important parts of the service. Okay, this gives you an understanding of what your client wants. It also tells you a lot about your client's lifestyle. So you want to make absolutely sure you ask open-end questions that may lead them to explain a little bit more. Use your portfolios, guys, please. Now we have access to photos on Google or styles that were done by other stylists. So use that to your advantage, okay, in determining what your client wants, okay. As I talk to my client, I'm basically analyzing her hair and her scalp. I'm looking for breakage, any redness. I'm inquiring about her last chemical service, how much time she wants to spend on her hair. Meanwhile, I'm still examining her hair and her scalp, okay? Once I've determined that her hair and scalp is safe enough to proceed with the service, I'm actually going to go ahead and drape her and prepare her for a service. Okay, guys, now that I've determined that she's safe to receive the chemical service based on her hair and scalp analysis, I'm going to go ahead and chemically drape her And I'm going to get her prepared for her predisposition test as well as her strand test. Going to make absolutely sure that that cape is not touching her neck anywhere, and is secure enough that she won't lose her draping throughout my service. I don't want my back bulky from my towels, so that she can lay down in the shampoo bowl comfortably. Okay, that's my first towel, guys, and my shampoo cape. Because it's a chemical, we use 2 towels, we double drape. So I'm going to take my second towel and I'm going to bring that around her neck. And you can use a clip, guys. You just want to make absolutely sure that it secures your cape, and then that it's not aggravating to your client, and your client's safety is in mind. Okay. Okay, that's our double drape. All right, let's get ready for our predisposition test. With our predisposition test, guys, this is basically the actual chemical that we're going to use on our client's hair. What you looking for in a predisposition test is to see if they're going to have an allergic reaction to the product itself, if it happens to get on their skin. Okay, our predisposition test is a mixture of the actual product that you're using in 1:1 ratios or according to manufacturer's instructions. You only need a little drop, guys, a dime size, if that much. Okay, so you mix according to the instructions from the manufacturer, and you're going to come right here behind the ear, the sensitive area. And this is where you're going to do your predisposition test. Okay, let's put it there. Okay, guys, the first thing I'm going to do is put my gloves on. I've actually pulled her hair back to perform this test to make sure this area is clear. I have my cotton here, as you can see, with a little hand soap on it, and I'm going to use my water bottle to spray that, to wet it a little bit. And I'm going to clean this area. You can use a light soap or any type of antiseptic. You want to thoroughly clean that area first. Okay. I already have my gloves on, so what I did according to the manufacturer's instructions with what product I'm using today, I actually I'm going to mix this to the consistency that the manufacturer had advised us to. A lot of times, guys, if it's a severe allergic reaction, you're going to actually get this reaction right off. But it is recommended that you let it sit the recommended amount of time. Okay? I'm going to take just a little bit of my product, and I'm going to put it right there behind the ear on that clean area. Okay? And I'm going to allow that to sit for the processing time that's recommended by my manufacturer, which is anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes with the product that I'm using today. Okay. I'm going to remove my gloves. My spatula is hard plastic, so this can be disinfected. I'm going to put this in my contaminated implements. And I'm going to dispose of everything I just used for my predisposition test. Okay guys, it is recommended that your predisposition test is left undisturbed for 24 to 48 hours to see if there's going to be a reaction from it. Any reaction would include irritation, itching, redness, things like that, okay? So that's what you're going to look for in your predisposition test. Now let's go ahead and do our strand test, all right? We're going to section 1/2 inch square section in the interior nape area of the hair, okay? And because we're doing a virgin, I'm going to apply it just so, okay? And I'm going to go back and test that, and then I'm going to complete zones 2 and 3, okay? All right, let's do our strand test. Okay guys, I pared off the section to perform my strand test, okay? And this test is basically going to tell us how the color is going to actually, or the lightener is going to actually take on the hair, okay? This is virgin hair. This is going to be a virgin lightener application. My client didn't have any previous color that might be contributing factors, so I'm looking for a successful lift on this hair strand. But you do want to perform a test curl. When you do your test curl, you want to make your consistency mixture like the manufacturer recommend, okay? You only have to mix a little according to the manufacturer's instructions, just to do your strand test, okay? You don't want to go to mixing a whole lot of product that you're not going to be able to use based on this strand test, okay? This strand is going to be saturated for the amount of time recommended by the manufacturer, or once we get to the level that we desire, if that comes first. And then we're going to treat this just as if we were doing her entire head, okay? Same processing time. Instead of shampooing her, we're going to actually spray it down once our processing time is up, and we're going to follow the instructions from there, okay? Let's go ahead and apply. I'm going to put my other glove on. I'm going to put this here on a piece of foil to make sure that it don't get on to the hair in places that we don't want it. I have my mixture. My foil comb. Or highlighting comb. Okay. I'm going to over direct this, and I'm going to place my foil underneath, okay? I'm going to saturate this strand really, really good. Separate it so I can get in between it, top and bottom. You notice I'm not going all the way to the scalp, and I'm not bringing it all the way to the ends, because this is a virgin application. So I am going to follow protocol for my virgin application, to whereas we do the mid shaft, then scalp to ends. But I want to make sure this is really good and separated. Okay. fold my foils. And because this is a virgin application, I'm going to check this foil a little bit before the 10 minutes that's recommended by the manufacturer, just to see if it's going to lift a little bit quicker than recommended. That does vary from one hair texture to the next, guys, so you want to constantly check to make absolutely sure that you're getting to where you want to be. Okay? I have my timer here, and the recommended processing time is up to 20 to 30 minutes, and it does not require heat. So I'm going to set my timer for 20 minutes, but I'm going to check it the next 10 minutes. Okay? Okay, guys, it's been 10 minutes, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to look at my strand. Okay, as you can see, it's processing. Okay, my client is desiring a caramel color, so because I'm lifting and I'm almost where I want to be, I'm going to go ahead and apply it to zone 2, and I'm going to bring that down through zone 3. Okay, so now that my entire strand is saturated, I'm going to allow that to process. Okay, what we're doing today, guys, is our virgin lightener, and we're also going back in with a toner. Okay, so that makes it a double process. Okay, so if by chance we get it a little bit lighter than what we wanted, we can go back in with our toner, which is not harsh on the hair at all, because it's usually a semi-color or a demi-color that takes really well to pre-lighten or porous hair. So we're going to let that process for the next 10 minutes, and we'll check back. Okay, guys, let's check our strand. Oh, see that we are processed throughout the entire strand, as you can see. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to leave our foil there. We're going to take our towel, place it over our opposite dominant hand underneath our strand, and we're going to remove our foil. Okay, I'm going to take my spray bottle and I'm going to spray this strand down, and I'm going to wipe it so I can actually see the lightener results throughout the strand. And you want to refrain from getting the rest of the hair wet. I'll fold my towel over and repeat that, because with this service the hair needs to be dry. Okay, and there you have it. No aggravation to the scalp or irritation, and I have a nice even strand. From scalp to ends. Okay, now we can proceed with our color, or lightener. Sorry. Okay, guys, in my consultation, I determined basically what my client was looking for. As you saw earlier, my client wears a side part, so towards the heavy side, she don't want a lot of highlights. She basically just wanted to appear more or less just the front section and just a couple on the side, just to brighten it up around the part. So as you can see, I section off the top part of her head So I'm basically working around where her side part usually be, and giving her a little bit more on the heavy side of her hair. Okay, the technique I'm going to be using is actually weaving through just really small subtle pieces um, to be lightened. Okay, um, I'm just going to work this section here, in this section only, and I'm going to put maybe 7 foils in the top. Like I said, really thin slices, but it is a virgin application, so therefore I'm going to apply to my mid section or zone 1 first, or the cold area. And then once that starts to lift, I'm going to go back from scalp to ends. Okay? Okay, though in my predisposition test and my strand test, my client did not have a reaction, I'm still going to use my base to outline the section that I'm actually going to be putting the lightener. And just a thin coat of base, guys. Remember, the purpose of your base is so that the chemical itself won't burn the scalp. So if you get it onto the hair, what's going to happen? It's not going to penetrate. So be mindful of that, okay? When you go around your hairline, you don't want it up in your hairline, okay? All right. As you can see, I've already mixed with the consistency that I had for my strand test. And I did not mix this, guys, until I determined where I wanted to put my lightener, as well as sectioning the part off where I wanted to place my lightener. Okay? You don't want to pre-mix that and have it just sitting. Alright. A lot of people use both rat tail comb or highlighting comb and the brush. I tend to use the end of my brush to weave through, and like I said, I'm only going to be doing like really small, natural looking highlighted pieces, okay? And I'm going to be skipping like every section, okay? That means I'll part off a section, I'll weave through my thin slices, I will apply my product. Then the next section, I will part off the same width as the first section, but I will only weave through the following section. So it's like I'm weaving through every other section. Okay? Because this is a virgin application, I'm still going to over direct this hair, place my foils there, close to the scalp as possible. But when I start to apply, I'm only going to apply that mid section or that cold area. Okay? And I want that to start the process first before I go back scalp to porous ends. Okay? Make sure you work through, making sure that top and bottom of that strand is saturated. And notice I'm not using a whole lot of product, but my strand is still saturated, top and bottom, okay? Close my foils. And when I'm doing a virgin application, I like to leave my foils just long and straight out. That keeps my ends hanging out the ends of my foils, and it don't run the chance of getting product to a place where I don't want it. Okay, I'm going to part off my next section. The following section is where I'm going to weave through. All of my subsections are consistent with each other, meaning I'm not doing any too much bigger or any too much smaller than my very first one. Okay, I'm going to weave through small strands. So we want this to look as natural as possible, guys. Okay, let that bottom fall, and this is where I'm applying my product. Got my foil. Here's my comb. Over direct back hair, place my foil underneath. Again, mid shaft, core area, zone 1 first, okay? This is a virgin application, guys. I have a little bit on my thumb, so I keep a moist towel close by, guys, so I can keep my hands free of product as I work. I'm going to part off my next section. Following section, again, is what I'm going to weave through. So I weave through, I skip a section, and then I'm back to weaving through. You don't want your sections really wide, guys, when you section it off. You don't want it wider than your folds, okay? Because you want the hair to stay in your folds evenly. Okay? If you're one of those people that work really slow, read your manufacturer's instructions. They might recommend that you use low volume peroxide. Your manufacturer's instructions basically gives you everything you need as far as the applying and your mixtures, okay, guys? So when you read that, you're basically finding out what's recommended for your client's hair type. If you don't find that on the actual container, product container itself, make sure you go to your SDS, your safety data sheets, and it's going to give you everything from storage recommendations to the actual product itself with ingredients, processing times, all that good stuff, okay? You don't have the safety data sheet for the product that you're actually using, Google, let Google be your best salon friend. Google your products. Product knowledge is the key. Alright guys, we'll do the next couple more. Okay guys, I've got my foils in. So what I'm going to do is go back here to my very first foil. Going to check that, and as you can see, it's processing. So I'm going to go right back and I'm going to apply closest to the scalp through to my porous ends. Now keep in mind guys, our mannequins are going to be a little bit different from a live model, okay? Live model, we have heat generating from the scalp, so you have to be extra careful, okay? So I'm going to apply to my zone 2 and my zone 3. And this time I'm going to fold my foil, okay? That's basically indicating that I've actually brought it through all 3 zones. Zone 1, which is actually my midsection or my cold area. Then I went back to zone 2, which is closest to the scalp, and zone 3, which is my porous ends. I want to make absolutely sure that the hairs that I don't want color around is out of the way and secured, okay? Again, go as closest to the scalp as possible. Bring it through to my porous ends. Making sure it's saturated really good, guys. Close it back up. It's vital, guys, that you keep check on your foils, because even if the manufacturer say 20 minutes recommended, it may start the process in 10 minutes, okay? So it's vital that you keep a check on the foils after applying your product. Anything that you master on your mannequins, color, cuts, whatever it may be, just know that it's preparing you to be a better stylist, because the mannequin